Skullgirls is at EVO again. We did it. And with that announcement, there must be a lot of people, probably not a lot, but some people asking themselves, is this the game for me? Should I get into the game? Is this the right time to get into the game? And I'm here to try to answer those questions. Before I continue, real quick, please consider supporting with buttons below, links below. Thank you for that. And let's continue. So in my opinion, Skullgirls is super easy to get into and super difficult to get into at the same time. So what I mean by it being super easy to get into is that the game really helps you out in very little ways. Well, no, it has little helps littered all over the place, meaning there's a lot of help for the game gives you to get into it. Like tons of buffers and things like that. Let's say one example that comes to mind is that the only 360 motion move in the game, 360s in this game are made so it notices you are doing a 360, so it doesn't make you jump because you don't want to jump in a 360 move. So there are tons of things like that in the game. There's not much high execution. If you want to be a top 8 level player, then there is high execution if you want to get into. But it's not really that, or if you just want to do it for the fun of it, you can do it. But you don't really need to be optimal or with the high execution things in this game. In my opinion, which might be a point of contention, but in my opinion, this game for you to be good and have fun, you just need like an effective universal BMB, a bread and butter combo that works on everyone, and 2 or 3 resets and mix-ups that you might want to go into in neutral or in the middle of your combo to reset the combo. This is all you really need, in my opinion, to have fun in the game and be good. You don't really need to be super optimal or anything, which is why I think it's super easy to get into, because you don't really have to put that much work into it to start being effective. The problem is that it's very difficult to get into because this game is basically knowledge check the game. There's tons of mix-ups and setups and so on that are known, you know them, and you know what your opponent might be doing if you play the game for a while. But if you're starting, you will probably get curve stomped because you don't have the knowledge. Getting that knowledge while getting curve stomped is pretty difficult for a lot of people, and I get it. Getting curve stomped is not fun. And it's hard to learn when you're just not doing anything, because it's kind of frustrating that you're not doing anything and getting curve stomped. So that's one of the reasons why I say it's super difficult to get into the game. There's another one, being that the skill gap, which is kind of the same. The skill gap is very noticeable. Let's say if you start playing the game today and jump online immediately, don't do anything else, just jump online, and you start and you get paired up, you play against another person that started playing the game one day before you, and they just jumped online today, the day you jumped online, you started playing. This person, if they just got a BMB with a couple characters and a couple resets, they're probably gonna curve stomp you, and there won't be much you can do because they know what they're doing. At least, even if it's not they don't have the highest knowledge of what they're actually doing, but they know what they're doing, and you don't. You will get curve stomped. It's pretty nasty like that. So if you go into it alone online, it might be difficult for you. So in my opinion, if you want to have the best experience in Skullgirls, I think if you have like a local scene that's starting out, or Discord you're active in where people are trying to get into the game too, or you just have friends, which honestly not many people have friends online this like because of the pandemic and everything happening, everything went out of whack. But if you have friends to play with, that's the best you will have. You will all learn together. It'll be fun from the get-go. If you don't, it'll be rough. It might be easier if you are good at other games, other maybe similar games like Marvel and Dragon Ball Fighters. I am just going to warn you real quick that not to overestimate your skill, because I know a lot of people doing that nowadays, or just believing influencers at face value for no actual good reason. Says the influencer. The irony is not lost in me. But what I mean is that I see a lot of people saying, like, I see people being like, I don't believe this top player for this specific game. I do not believe him because I saw a video by a top player in SF5 that is an influencer trying out the game for the first time, and they said something different from you, so I don't believe you. I've seen that a lot nowadays. I also see people being like, I'm pretty good at Guilty Gear Strive. I am a floor 7 player, so I think I'm pretty good. And my reaction to that was, I suck at Guilty Gear Strive. I do not know when to burst. I do not know how to effectively use my meter for Roman cancels or supers, or when to use any of that to actually do well. I don't know how to approach neutral in that game. And I played it like 2 or 3 months after release. It took me 3 days to get to Celestial. So someone being floor 7 and I'm pretty good at this game, I'm like, are you? No. That's all I'm saying. I don't mean to blow anyone up or throw them under the bus or call anyone out. I'm just saying, do not overestimate your skill. Funny enough, I think the fighting game with the population that is good in the most part, the Dragon Ball Fighters, I think that's basically due because it's Dragon Ball and more people stuck with the game than just dropping it through its lifetime because it's Dragon Ball and they just wanted to play a good Dragon Ball game. So more people got good at that game, I've seen. I think it's because of that. So if you're good at that game, Dragon Ball Fighters, I believe you, and you might not have that much of a bad time in this. Another issue with this game is that people are kind of toxic online. Even renowned top players will just be pretty toxic and teabag you and taunt you. Just like do something and start teabagging you, and then do something else and start teabagging you. That's not fun. And a lot of top players do that in this game. I don't know why. But because why are you being toxic to the new players? Don't you want more people to play this game? And I'm going to admit, I'm kind of toxic sometimes against new players in this game, but I'm only toxic when they don't know how to push block. Like, just do the tutorial before you just jump online. How do you not know how to push block? It's probably the most important mechanic in this game. Like, what are you doing? And then they become toxic and just start and beat them with a single button. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm part of the problem. I admit it. But, okay, in conclusion, you want to get into Skullgirls, and it's pretty easy because you can be pretty effective without putting that much work into it. But defensive-wise, it's going to take you a while to actually start being good in the defense department because of all the knowledge checks and the skill gap being so noticeable in this game. So, is it the right time to get into it? I would say any time is the right time to get into any fighting game, because if you want to play it, just play it. But there's a lot more new people getting into the game, so you might have a better time online. And there's a lot more resources because more people are getting into it and people are putting more effort into beginner-friendly resources. It's kind of what I'm trying to do. So, if you want to get into the game, get into the game. I have videos that are like beginner tips and so on. So thank you so much for watching. I will catch you next time. The guy just rage quit and pulls. See you later.